Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive today into 2 Corinthians chapter 10.
Right. And it starts with a bang, really, this contrast.
Yeah, this tension the author sets up immediately. How he's seen in person.
Yeah.
People say timid,
Unimpressive, even that his speaking is, well, nothing.
but then his letters. Totally different story.
Exactly. Weighty and forceful, bold, even.
And that contrast, it's not just personal, is it? It sets up the whole chapter.
It really does. It's about perception versus reality, right?
And maybe different kinds of strength, different authority.
It makes you question what real strength even looks like. Maybe not what we usually think.
Precisely. Which leads straight into this idea about conflict.
Well, yes. Though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. That line jumps out.
It's fundamental. A completely different rule book,
So not the usual worldly ways of fighting or arguing.
Not at all. It suggests a different battleground altogether. There's definitely conflict, a warfare, but it's spiritual, maybe. Not political or social in the way we normally think. Okay, so if it's not worldly warfare, what are the weapons? The text talks about that too.
It does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world, explicitly stated.
Not manipulation, not intimidation.
Nope. Instead, they have divine power. Power to do what? Demolish strongholds.
Divine power.
Yeah.
That's significant. And aimed at strongholds. What does that mean in this context?
Well, it seems these weapons are for demolishing arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God.
Arguments and pretensions.
Yeah.
So it's a battle of ideas,
Yeah.
beliefs.
I think so.
Yeah.
These strongholds aren't physical walls. They're more like entrenched ways of thinking.
Mindsets.
Yeah.
Ideologies. Things that block understanding God.
Exactly. False assumptions, arrogant ideas, that kind of thing. The divine weapons target those.
So it's about dismantling wrong ideas, not attacking people.
That seems to be the focus. And then there's that really striking image.
Taking thoughts captive.
Yes. Taking captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ.
Wow. That brings the battle right inside, doesn't it? Into your own mind.
Absolutely. It suggests our internal world, our thoughts, are a key part of this spiritual conflict. It's incredibly demanding.
And then he circles back to the criticism about himself, right?
He does. He tackles it head on.
Yeah.
The idea that he's weak in person but strong in letters.
Yeah, he says,
Basically, watch me. My actions when I'm there will match the authority you see in my letters. He's not backing down.
so asserting that his perceived weakness isn't the true measure of his authority.
Right. Which then leads into this whole other related point about comparison and boasting.
The part about measuring themselves by themselves.
Yes, comparing themselves with themselves. The text just flat out says, it's not wise.
Why not wise? I mean, isn't that what people just do? Look around, see how they stack up?
Well, the problem is the standard, isn't it? If you only measure yourself against yourself or against the people immediately around you.
Your perspective gets skewed.
Totally. It's either pride or despair based on a very limited, often flawed human standard. It's just a closed loop.
So what's the alternative presented here?
Boasting, but within proper limits. Recognizing the specific field or area of work God has given you.
Not taking credit for others' work.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging your assigned sphere, the one that in this case reached the Corinthians with the gospel, being effective there.
It really reframes achievement then. It's not about building your own little empire.
No, and the ultimate point about boasting is, well, quite radical.
Let him who boasts boast in the Lord.
That's the one. It completely flips worldly self-promotion on its head.
And that connects directly to the final idea about approval, doesn't it?
It does. True approval, real commendation. It comes not from the one who commends himself,
But the one whom the Lord commends.
which is powerful. In our world, so focused on likes, on personal branding, on getting praise from others, this is the only approval that truly counts comes from God.
It completely redefines worth and success.
Absolutely.
So thinking of this for you, the listener, these nearly 2,000-year-old ideas feel incredibly current, don't they?
They really do. That tension between appearance and substance, dealing with criticism, finding our worth.
Yeah, where do we look for approval? Is it comparing ourselves,
Yeah.
promoting ourselves, or something else?
This chapter really pushes us to think about what real strength is, what battles matter, and whose well done we're actually seeking.
So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. In a world so quick to judge on surfaces and self-hype, what does it genuinely mean to boast in the Lord? And related to that, what kind of commendation are you really looking for?